All right. Good morning. Today is Monday, May 13th, and this is Healing the Heart of America. I'm Stephen Wynn, and the topic for today is our war machine, our military-industrial complex. Ooh, we have a reaction from the audience. We love the military-industrial complex, don't we? Exactly so. But first, of course, we're going to go into our own hearts and heal our own personal issues about violence. And then we'll move on to this great, vast wound in the heart of America that causes us to embrace war and violence and causes the rising up of this military-industrial complex. It's a big project, it's a big topic, and our hearts are even bigger. That's the reality. Our hearts are big. So let's begin by first just checking, feeling how you feel. We've been talking about this military-industrial complex for a minute here. And how do you feel right now? What's your state? How agitated, how calm, how loving, how vast, how individual do we feel? Whatever measurements you want to use, just feel that state. And then let's begin connecting to our hearts by simply putting our hands over our hearts. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes. If at any point it ever becomes uncomfortable, please know I'm not wanting you to do anything that makes you uncomfortable. So you're always free to open up your eyes, look around, realize how completely safe you are, and close your eyes when you're ready again. So just with our hands over the heart, perhaps you can start to feel the presence of your heart, or feel your heartbeat through your fingertips or your palm. And whether we feel it or not, just allow ourselves to shake hands with our heart. Say, good morning, heart. I am so grateful for your presence in my life. And go ahead and let your hands down and just take a moment to compare your state now, where we've just been connecting to our heart for a minute and a half or so. How does that compare to when we first started? Are you quieter? Is your mind quieter? Are you feeling more open or less open? Feeling less agitated, more agitated? Whatever it is, it's just, we do this to just get a flavor of how just a little bit of attention on our heart. Just a reminder that we are heart-centered beings. We are energetic beings. And the heart is the center of our energetic body. And so every morning in these meditations, we spend a little bit more time connecting to our hearts through the use of a process called heart rhythm meditation. It's rediscovered by Susanna and Peron Bear. They wrote this bestseller called Living from the Heart. And they started a school of the heart called I Am Heart, where they delve deeply into the unknown parts of the heart, the power and the strength, all with the intention, ultimately, from my perspective, of awakening the divine qualities within our hearts so that we begin to live from love, from compassion, from power, from divine order, from courageousness, from mercy, from grace. There are dozens, perhaps hundreds of divine qualities. We are all a mixture, our own unique mixture, some stronger, some less emphasized. But the more we move into our hearts, and this is what heart rhythm meditation does for us, the more we live from these divine qualities of the heart. So the way we start, if you can sit up straight, always putting your comfort first, but just allow yourself to sit quietly and just watch our breathing for a minute. We're making friends with our breath, this wonderful connector between our hearts and our minds. How easy is your breath? Is your inhale longer than your exhale, or vice versa? Are they even? Is one nostril more open than the other? No judgment, just noticing. And at a certain point, we want to begin having a very full exhale. We exhale by pulling our abdominal muscles all the way back to kiss the spine. And as you let go, watch how easy it is to inhale fully. So just for a moment or two, let's begin inhaling fully and exhaling fully. And just check to see what your experience is with that. By breathing fully, inhale, full exhale, we start to flood our energetic system with energy, with divine energy, with prana, chi, whatever you want to call it. What's your experience when that happens? Do you fall asleep, or do you become more alert, more alive? Whatever it is, it's okay. We're just watching and noticing. And when you're ready, we want to begin the next easy intervention. We want to connect the rhythm of our heartbeat with the rhythm of our breath. So, for example, typically we'd say inhale to the count of 6 or 8 heartbeats, and then exhale to the count of 6 or 8 heartbeats. And if it's hard to feel your heartbeat, it's okay. It'll come very quickly to you. But there's a couple of things we can do. One is to simply feel our pulse, either on our wrist or on our neck. Just feel the pulse. Inhale to the count of 6 or 8, whatever's comfortable. Exhale to the count of 6 or 8 heartbeats. Again, honor your own comfort. And just connect these two rhythms. And it's not so obvious, But over time, my experience is there's a third pulse in the body, pumping the cerebral spinal fluid up and down the spine, into the brain, back out. For me, it's a much slower pulsation. But that has nothing to do with that. It just automatically starts to connect once we connect the rhythm of our heartbeat with the rhythm of our breathing. And really what happens is we begin to connect to the rhythm of all life, the rhythm of Mother Earth, the magnetic pulsing. And we start to be in complete harmony with the entire planetary being, the vast energies of our planet. And just keep this up. Pay attention to the heartbeat, and the breathing. And I've heard a couple people now tell me that they can feel their heartbeat for a little bit, and then it dissolves and disappears. And that's okay. All the people that have told me this are very experienced meditators, used to transcending. Now, I love transcending. And yet, in the path of the heart, every school has its glory, has its purpose, and has what it focuses on. The path of the heart, it's not so much about transcending as it is about infusing the transcendent into our everyday experience, fully energized. And our experience of the transcendent, when we transcend through the heart, is this vast field called the universal heart, and we are fully present, fully silent, and fully energized. So I just want that intention to be out there. And if we slip into old habits and transcend, it's okay. Just gently come back to the heartbeat, connected to the rhythm of the breathing. And again, inhale, 6-8 beats. Exhale, 6 or 8 beats. And every morning, I've been adding in one more fundamental practice to enhance our experience of heart rhythm meditation. So last Friday, for example, we pulled in energy from the back of the heart, that divine inspiration, these great beings that have our back, and we floated out forward, bringing that blessing into all creation. That's one dimension of the heart, from the back to the front to the back. This morning, let's explore another dimension. That is from the left and to the right. So the invitation is to just allow the energy from the left to pour into our hearts, to draw it in as we continue with this heart rhythm meditation. Inhale, 6 or 8 beats into the heart from the left. Exhale, 6 or 8 beats out to the right. And just play with this for a minute. Inhaling from the left, exhaling out to the right, all the while maintaining this rhythm. And what we say is the left side of our body is the receptive side. We receive into our hearts from creation. And we exhale out to the right, and we give, we share. So the question as we breathe in from the left, exhale to the right, is what are we willing to receive this morning? And what are we willing to give, to share? Who do we receive it from? Who do we give it to? Who do we share it with? And at a certain point, you may find that the energy from the left comes not just in a single line, but the whole field of the left pulls into our heart. And out the energy goes to the whole field of our right. And there's almost like this line dividing our left and right sides, going through our hearts, connecting. And these two planes of existence, our receiving and our giving. And you may find that as we give out to the right, it curls around and pulls over to the left. We almost get this circle of energy. All of creation pulling from the left, going out to all of creation to the right. But wherever it is for you, it doesn't matter. It's your experience. We just want to understand the universality and experience the universality and the vastness of the heart, the vastness of our energetic presence. There will come a time when we all experience that in the vastness of our hearts, we are, each one of us, the center point of creation. And just breathe that in and allow that to show up when it shows up. This is the vastness of our heart, connecting what's above, what's below, what's to the left, to the right, forward and back, what's inside. All here in the vastness of our heart. And we want to be in touch with our hearts, the vast essence of our hearts, as we move into the next phase of this meditation, which is healing the wounds of our hearts, that we might prepare for healing the wounds in the heart of America. So usually I just say, can you find something in your past or something in your present life that's bothering you right now? You're certainly welcome to do that and heal that. But I'm going to suggest, if you're up for it, that we look at it from a certain angle. And it's all about violence. We have this tendency in this country to honor violence. It's just a natural habit, a national habit, it seems, a cultural habit. And I'll just ask if it's okay if we explore this and only go where it's comfortable for you. But where in your life, if it's okay to look at this, where in your life have you experienced violence? And it may be physical, it might have been emotional, it might have been mental, it might have been cultural, social. It's almost a question. I mean, the violence, if we've been attacked physically, it's clear where those violence areas, but it's almost a question of, have we ever been bullied? And the other side of it is, have we ever bullied someone? Have we ever pushed someone emotionally? Have we ever attacked someone? What we always find is, at least I've always found this, is when things happen to us, I can find where I have done this to other people or to myself. That's another question. Where have we been violent with ourselves? And stay connected to your breathing. This can be a very powerful energy. And we want to stay connected to our hearts within our core. as we look at these energies. And one of the things you may have noticed that I do when I lead these processes is I rarely confront energy head on. It's very hard to do that. We want to explore the energy around a wound. So, can you welcome up this feeling of having been attacked, either violently or bullied or emotionally targeted, tormented, teased, whatever it comes out for you? And just welcome it up, and rather than going directly for this energy, I invite you to look and see if you like this energy. And my guess is none of us like being attacked violently or emotionally. But this is an easier energy to work with. So this not liking what happened to us, from up the memory of whatever it is, notice we don't like it, and just discriminate for a moment here. Does not liking this memory or not liking what happened to us, does that make it go away? Or do we merely suppress it and push it down because we don't like it? We don't want to look at it. So the invitation here is to recognize that what we resist persists. And we can't change what happened to us, but we can change the energy around it. So notice your disapproval of what happened, your not liking. And would it be okay with us if we let go of that disapproval? If we let go of that judgment and let go of it some more and more and more, and check to see if that judgment, that not liking, is a little bit lighter just from allowing the energies to dissipate. And can you give ourselves some love and approval? Listen, it's not a bad thing sometimes that we suppress energy that we can't handle at the time. It's the wisdom of our bodies saying, I'm not ready for this right now. But now I ask you, having been situated in your heart, is it okay with you if we heal this energy, if we heal this wound? Not that we forget what happened to us, but that it becomes a platform for which we make our decisions. We integrate it into ourselves instead of just suppressing it. We know it's there. We go, yep, that happened to me. And now I live in my heart. And my life is very different. Is it okay with us if we make this decision to let go of disapproving of this memory, disapproving of the people? Just let's take a look at the person who did this to us, and how much pain are they in? What distortions in their own energy fields would cause them to behave this way? How happy is their lives? Could we look at them through the eyes of the heart and just have compassion for them? Only if it's easy. Could you allow yourself to have even more compassion? And who would you rather be? someone who forgives and has compassion, or someone who holds on to their resentment and their grudges. Let's welcome back up any more disapproval that we have, any more not liking. And just pull that energy into our hearts. It's energy. We can transform this energy. Would it be okay with you if you feel this energy? It could be in your field, or you could feel a sensation in your stomach or your chest or somewhere in your body. Could you pull this energy into your heart and give your heart permission to transform that into compassion, love, courage, safety, whatever divine quality of God, of the heart, that you would like to build? Could you use this stored memory as fuel for transformation into a divine quality? And I'm going to use compassion, but whatever quality is correct for you, you build that quality. So all of this disapproval from this time when we were emotionally bullied or physically attacked and assaulted, whatever it is, could we allow that to shift into compassion? Could you allow yourself to feel gratitude that from this experience we have learned this is not how we want to behave? And just pull the energy into your heart. And how do you feel about that experience now? Is it heavier? Is it lighter? My experience is when we let go and transform the energy, it just becomes lighter. And would it be okay with us if we allow that process to continue over the next few days? It may come up again and again, and each time, can we greet this energy with love, with compassion, and allow it to shift into whatever divine quality we wish to build, until we wake up one morning and we look at that experience with complete gratitude. It may take a while. It may happen right now. So breathe into your heart again. And then as we exhale, expand the heart out a bit. Inhale into our heart. Feel the heartbeat. Exhale, expand our energy out. We want to expand our hearts because now we're moving to that part of this class where we join our hearts together to begin the process of healing the deep wounds in the heart of America. And expand out again. And perhaps with everyone here in the class, everyone on the call, pull the energy of their hearts from the left into our hearts. Let that energy flow out into one gigantic network of connected hearts. That's what we do when we come together. Our hearts begin to function as one. There's actually been research on this. When people start meditating together, their heartbeats start to synchronize. It's very interesting research. So, from this place of our expanded hearts, let's take a look at the tendency for violence in America. This is the underlying wound in America that gives rise to the war machine, or as President Eisenhower called it, the military-industrial complex. That somehow something in the subconscious of America, we have this belief that it's okay to use violence to achieve our desires, locally, individually, and nationally. And one curious thing about America is the Pentagon is located in the heart of the land inhabited by the Potomac Indians, the Native Americans, this Potomac tribe. And that particular tribe was among the most violent of Native American tribes. They were the equivalent of the Apaches and the Comanches on the East Coast. They are so feared by all the neighboring tribes that whenever they would go, in a war party, the neighboring tribes would not even fight them. They would just run as soon as they were spotted. That's how fierce and warlike they were. So I'm going to suggest that alone, and that's the capital of our nation. That's in the soil, this warlike quality. So would it be okay with us, and this is just on the level of intention, that we connect with the warlike nature of the land there in the Washington, D.C. area, the whole land of America, that we connect with this tendency to feel that violence is okay, that it's appropriate. And can we feel within our hearts, pull this energy in, it may be a little bit of imagination in the beginning. Can we welcome that in? And the way we heal it is not by denying it, suppressing it, and saying, shame, shame, it should not be there. That just represses the energy. From our expanded collective hearts, can we allow that energy to be pulled into our collective hearts and transformed? Let's transform it into wisdom. Let's transform it into peace. Let's transform it into love. Would it be okay with us? And we're just setting a collective intention here. Would it be okay with us if America lived in the fullness of its heart, radiating love with wisdom, love, wisdom, peace to all of our citizens within our country, and radiating this love of wisdom and peace to the great family of nations of this world? It's an obvious intention. So we just say yes to that and allow the silent, constructive powers of our heart to begin this healing process. And let's take a look at the expression of this tendency towards violence. We have all these defense contractors building weapons, and we ask them to. And as a nation, we pay for this. And as a nation, we act as the world's policemen. We have the most powerful military in the nation, in the world. And it's not that we can afford this. We have so many challenges we could use this money for. But still within our national psyche is this fear causing us to try to protect ourselves by force. And I'm not saying to give up our common sense, but would it be okay with us if we became a nation that is so loving that every other nation simply loves us? You look at Switzerland, how they do that. Thailand's pretty successful at that. Not perfect. But is it okay with us if we become that nation? And again, we're using the power of intention. So let's go back and look at all these defense contractors who build these weapons, and then we want to use them because we have them. Let's look at all the politicians who buy into this cycle of violence, domestically and internationally, and check to see how much judgment we have for them in our hearts, how much resentment we have for them, and could we welcome that up? All that judgment, all that resentment, all that not liking, all that wanting to fix, wanting to change. And can we allow that to shift within us into love, into compassion, into mercy? The defense contractors are just saying, but you asked us to do this. The politicians are saying, but our people want a strong military. Could you allow ourselves to see that from their perspective, they're just responding to the requests of the people, of the government? And could we realize that by resenting and not liking, all we do is we feed them with energy? Now, we've all seen a case where some grandmother or some teacher holds a student or a grandchild or something like that, holds them with great love, with a clear vision of how great they can become. And if you've ever been the recipient of some vision of someone else like this, you know how this impacts you. We step up to fill that vision. Could we hold a vision for our country, for our politicians, for our defense contractors? Could we hold a vision sitting with great love where we know that we know that we know, we sit with complete faith that all these parties can begin to act from wisdom and love and peace? And our hearts are very free to draw boundaries. That comes from the depth of the heart, our solar plexus, where we simply say, no, this is not acceptable. Now, can we join together in saying, no, violence is not acceptable? But then instead of dwelling on it, we come back to this picture of all these politicians, all these defense contractors, holding them in a vision of love. Can we allow them to become incredible forces for good in the world? And I'm sure if we ask them, would you like to be a force for good in the world, they'd all say, yes, of course. And they don't know how. Can we allow that wisdom to arise within them by loving them? They will never accept wisdom if we're judging and hating them. Only by loving them can they receive that. So could we just take a moment and pour our love into our political system? Pour our love into these defense contractors, these big corporations, and say, not this way. Here's the vision that we're moving into. And come back into our hearts. And could you allow yourself to feel gratitude for the power of our hearts? Here's something we can do at the most subtle level, the most powerful level. We use the power of love to change our world. And breathe into our hearts. And can we give ourselves some love and approval? And we allow ourselves to love everyone on this phone call. Everyone in America. And everyone in the world. And with that, pull our energy within. Perhaps put your attention on the soles of your feet. And when it's comfortable, open your eyes. And I'm opening up the Q&A session. I think you get under the Q&A by hitting *6. So if anyone has a question or a comment or a gain, or anyone has been stirred up by this or by anything else in your life, now is the time to say hello, or either on the phone or in person here in the class. So I'm going to pull out this. So this part of the class is completely optional. Anytime anyone has to leave, I totally get we all have lives to live. Eric, do you want to come sit up here? Sure. So everyone can hear. So by the way, let me give everyone the basic rules for this format. Not a time to preach, not a time to rant. Okay? We know that neither of those work. But sharing gains, issues come up, whatever it is, please go forward. Welcome.
Well, this is my first time here in a session like this with Steve. I've known Steve a long time, and we have a lot of connections. And, well, I've seen a lot of programs in my life. I'm just back in Fairfield recently, but I think, in my opinion, in my experience, this is one of the most profound things I've ever seen in Fairfield ever. I've done every program with Marshall and all that, and Mayor Baba and everything. So I just want to congratulate Steve, being who he is. Do such a thing.
I have a question.
Thank you very, very much, Eric. Really appreciate. I guess I should add, this is also a forum for love notes.
Well, that's what I want to convey. And I personally think that the atmosphere of this room contributes immensely to it. And all the pictures, what's obviously gone on in here for many, many years. So I've been away for a couple of years, in fact. And I've been in this room for other occasions, with weddings and so forth. And I knew Connie Hubner in 1971. She and I and some other people drove across the country to attend the Humboldt course with Maharishi in a tiny little...
Okay.
So that's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. Some question over here, or who's first? All right. I think you're... Come on up. Oh, wait. Ladies first. Okay. Catherine, please.
Best dressed first.
She wins the best dressed award today.
I am so grateful for this course. When I first heard about it, I knew that was what I was waiting for. I hadn't known what it was I was waiting for. So I'm very grateful to Stephen and his beautiful heart for sharing all this knowledge. When we thought about school shootings last Friday and now today about the war machine, I wanted to read this, but today when Stephen said to gain equality, ask for equality one, so I asked for courage. That's why I'm up here. I got some. So I'd like to read this. It's called The Late Fragment by Raymond Carver. And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so? I did. And what did you want? To call myself beloved, to feel myself beloved on the earth. May we all on this earth become beloved to ourselves. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you very much. And I'll make a comment. Actually, I'll give you guys a homework exercise.
Hey, that was the only thing missing from this.
That's right. That's right. Listen, you talk about being the beloved, about loving ourselves. It is extraordinarily powerful to give love and approval to ourselves. So my suggestion is, now, first I'll tell you, my suggestion is when you wake up in the morning or sometime during the day, you spend 10 or 20 minutes loving yourself, finding the qualities, the things you've done well in your life, finding the qualities that you have, what's gone well, this sort of thing, just saying, I love you, Stephen, I love you, Stephen. You can use my name if you want. No, use your own name, obviously. Just, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I have found, and by the way, I'll throw something else out here too. Well, I'll first do this. I have found this to be one of the most remarkably transformative practices ever. I once did it for 2 hours one morning. And just did it and did it and did it. And that day, I walked through life like I was Jesus Christ. Okay? The thing was, I was so full of love, all I could do was spread love. It's physics. We fill up with love, all we can do is give it. Now, the other thing is, anyone that you're having a problem with in your life, spouse, employer, coworker, child, whatever it is, spend 20 minutes a day sending them love and approval. And just watch what happens. It's the most remarkable shift you can imagine. So, thank you, Catherine. John, did you have a comment?
Well, yeah, my comment, I guess. So, yeah, I really appreciate the theme for today, but there's one thing I would like to say about it, and that is I don't think we've gone deep enough.
Yeah.
And we looked at, how a little bit of the history of how one might have been attacked. And then also making a conscious decision, is that what we want in our life? And I think for us in this community, that's great. And then to, spread and then, no, we're not going to engage in that. There's also an element that in a certain sense is present. It's present in kind of in a darkness. And that element consciously chooses to attack. And I think, if we're looking at just, how I've responded to being attacked, I think we really have to go much deeper into, and how we're connected with everything, into an element that uses attack, and also examine in our life where we use attack as a means of trying to control, trying to command the situation.
John, would you like to work on this right now?
Sure.
Okay. So, where in your life do you do this?
I think it occurs mostly in relationship with someone else, and a sense of frustration.
And you go to wanting to control. Yes?
Well, yeah. I was trying to control what I find being outside,
yes,
or what I look at as being outside.
And how does that work for you?
It doesn't work. I mean, obviously.
Right. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Good. So would you be willing to examine that and heal that?
Sure.
Good. So all this wanting to control. Okay, this, I spoke a couple days ago about these three basic patterns that everyone seems to have. They connect to the first three chakras, and Jesus overcame them. These are the three temptations. So this wanting to control is really third chakra. Okay, it's like a power. I want power here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do you feel about that, wanting to control? You like it or not like it?
I don't find that it gives a result that I would like to live with.
Right. So that means you don't like it.
Mm.
You wish it wasn't there. Right? Or not?
Well, there could be some perception that it has a usefulness. Now, it's coming to the point that, to finding out that, hey, it actually isn't useful.
Well, actually, what I think you'll find is on all of these things, there's things we like about them and there's things we don't like about them. Okay? That's the attachments and the aversions. Mm-hmm. And we have them to things in our life, and we have them to patterns in our being. All right? So the trick is for us to be able to handle this very deep, built-in energy. It's like we're wired to want to control because it gives us safety. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that it gets distorted. So would it be okay with you if you had control and used it in a very loving manner?
Would that be okay with you?
I don't think that's it, actually.
Okay, you don't want that.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, good, that's fine. So this, could you just welcome with this feeling of wanting control?
Okay.
And do you feel it like a sensation or a general feeling? How do you feel it?
Well, I feel it as a sensation and also a little bit of a visualization.
Okay.
Of wanting to constrict something to be able to control it.
Good. So can you take that feeling or that sensation and that vision and allow them to shift into your heart? Does that energy movement work for you, or does that not work for you?
At the moment, it's not quite shifting.
That's okay. Would it be okay with you if you just sat with that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sitting with the feeling is honoring it, and it's a form of loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Could you just be with that?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when you just be with that experience?
It lightens.
It lightens. Would it be okay with you if it lightens some more?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And lighten some more. What's your experience right now?
I'm seeing a little bit towards the left side, kind of a darkness.
Okay. Can you be with that darkness?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else who has any darkness in their own life, can you be with that now? And can you just be with that darkness? And could you greet it with patience?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could you just sit there with no agenda other than to be present with it? And what's happening?
Well, it's shifting.
Good. Good.
It's a little more condensed now.
Would you?
More at the back of the head, the lower left side.
Would you, and only if this is comfortable, would you be willing to dive into that darkness?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And anybody else dive into the pool and just keep diving in. Going deeper and deeper. And see if you can finally get to the end of it. And what's on the other side of that darkness? Can you get to the other side, John? Or are you still in the middle of it?
No, I'm not in the middle of it. There's a lot of light around it. There's still somewhat of a presence. But,
Yes, sure.
Like a shadow.
So just keep going in.
Pocket.
Just keep going in. Whatever darkness we have in our life, the heart doesn't cast aside. The heart includes and transforms. Is it okay with us if our heart transforms any darkness to whatever the heart desires? What's your experience right now, John?
Well, I'm bringing the connection of the heart to, or bringing that idea or vision into the heart.
Nice. And is it okay with you if you find the absolute source of that darkness?
Not really, because I don't think it has a source.
You think it just exists in and of itself?
No, I think it's like a cloud that disappears.
Yes. And where does a cloud come from?
It comes from nothingness.
Good. Could you allow it to be nothingness?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. We call that nothingness the field, by the way. It all comes from the field and goes into the field. So what's your experience internally right now?
Well, right now I'm focusing a little bit more like on what seems to be a point or a small area associated with the heart. And it's in the heart area, and there's like a small, I suppose, condensed.
Nice. Is this a wound or is this the essence of the heart?
That I don't know. I assume I'm associating it more with the heart essence.
Nice. Could you dive into that point?
Sure.
What's happening now?
It's opening, become a bigger field.
Good. And could you allow that to open up as freely as it wants to open up?
Sure.
And all of us, our own hearts, allow to open up and expand as much as it'd like to expand.
And I'm also noticing a little bit of a pain that has been constricting.
Yes. Yes. And can you be with that pain, that constricted pain?
Sure.
And do you need to sit quietly for a while and keep diving into this?
Yeah, I think so.
Why don't you do that? Because you're making a lot of progress. A lot, and you're bringing us with you. But this could be a while for you, right? Why don't you just grab a seat and do that? But thank you very much for bringing this up.
Yeah.
Really, really grateful for that. And a question over here.
Sit in the hot seat there?
Sit in the hot seat.
Am I going to be on an online camera?
Yeah, and there's no camera.
Okay, cool.
No camera. You look beautiful anyway. Handsome. Stud.
Stop it.
Now, by the way, it's after 10 o'clock, so really, no offense if people leave. This is going on longer than I planned, but I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I have a selfish concern.
Okay.
And that is I'm experiencing anxiety attacks. These are internal. They're not a panic attack from an external situation.
Yes.
And, you know, as a meditator like all of us, I'm an inward-directed person big time. And that's where I go to heal a million things in my life and everything. I go to rest, escape, all the things that we do, transcend, evolve, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm afraid to do that. And at night...
because of the panic attacks.
Yes.
Okay.
And it usually happens when I wake up, and then my brain is just, it's indescribable, but it's like so nutty and active, and it's like it is, I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. There's lots of things, different things happen, but it's a lot of it is fear. And then, like Maharishi says, you'll attach something, and then the mind will explode with a guilt or shame thing, and I'll go crazy with this. Anyway, I have to be alone the rest of my life. I have to go to sleep the rest of my life, and now I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to go home even.
Yes. And
I'm staying more, I'm not a very active person. I'm being more active now, and I'm wearing myself out because I'm afraid to go home. I'm slightly, not feeling good. So there's that balance. But mostly it's this fear of going crazy and fear of fear, being in fear.
Yes. Now, thank you very much. Very brave of you to come up and say all that.
Not at all. I'm afraid. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah. Good. So a couple of things. So when we did the meditation this morning, was that comfortable for you or not comfortable?
It's comfortable. I'm not in a super bad state right now.
Okay.
But I'm sort of agitated. I don't feel like I can't really get in there. I'm more This is slightly taking precedent over what you're trying to do.
Yeah, good.
But when this is roaring,
Gotcha. So
I'm not roaring now.
So number one is never do anything that you don't feel completely safe doing.
Okay.
So that's number one, because if you're not safe, it's not going to work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, the nature of this is feeling unsafe.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. But what you want to do is you want to just be with. I know, hard to do.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. So, and part of that comes from building up the strength of your heart. Okay. So the simple process of breathing into your heart, out of your heart, connected to your heartbeat. All right. That keeps you anchored in the physical rather than the emotional.
Well, I see it as mental gone.
Fine, rather than the mental, right? But if you're feeling your heartbeat,
do the pulse thing.
Do the pulse thing, or if you can just feel it, but it keeps you in your body, and that allows you to be present without a lot of fear.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
Now, number two is, and I'm listen. There's all sorts of things that work and all sorts of things that don't work, right? So don't do the things that don't work. Okay? So if meditation puts you into anxiety, don't do that. And that's not heresy here.
No, I understand.
Okay? Just don't do it. It's not for you right now.
Yeah.
Now, what comes up for me intuitively, and you can take this or not, is not to burn yourself out physically, but gentle exercise. Tai Chi, yoga.
I'm walking a lot.
2, 3, 4 hours a day. Okay?
Not that, okay.
I know, but seriously, like yoga, 2 hours a day, something like that.
Whoa, okay.
All right, and I don't care if you break.
It's been a long time since I did asana.
I know, but I don't care if you break all the rules and watch television while you're doing them. Okay?
Watch television while I'm doing asanas?
I don't mind if you do that.
Okay.
And in other words, people say, I can't do 2 hours of asanas. Can't do it. Just can't do it. But, you can do it if you're watching a good movie. All right? And what I'm saying to you is, in the beginning, and obviously the ideal is you don't watch television. We all know that, right? Ideally, you're focusing on your body because it's a much more powerful experience. But most important of all is you start working on the level of your physiology. Okay? On the gross level.
Okay.
All right? And that will give you stability.
So you're saying gross level, now you're talking about walking and yoga and this, and what else?
Well, that's the platform.
Okay.
Okay, that's the platform. And by the way, I'm up here teaching the heart and I'm, teaching energy management. That may not be for you until you have your body smoothed out. Okay? And once your body is smoothed out, these things will come automatically for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And, you hear all these things, everybody says, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Then it may not, they're not speaking to you, they're speaking to hear themselves speak. Okay?
Sometimes.
I mean, they all want what's best for you. We know that.
Yeah.
But if they don't have that experience, Okay? I mean, I've had panic attacks. Just can sit there. All you can do is be with them. That's my experience.
What do you do? What do you mean, be with them?
Just be with them. Just wait, and know it's going to go pass.
I don't know that. See, I feel like I'm going to a funny farm. Or,
right.
You know, some people tell me this is a spiritual community. I've heard every damn thing there is, you know, and that, you know, one of this is a fear of death. In this situation, I wouldn't mind dying, you know, in peace, but I don't want to be forever locked in this craziness. That's the one thing I think I'm afraid of. With a fear, craziness mixture.
Yeah.
That's the worst for me.
I get it.
And that's okay.
So I'm going to suggest these two things. One is the body, the exercise.
Okay.
And the second is just basic heart rhythm meditation.
And that means this is my first time here. This is feeling the pulse and getting it to 8 in, 8 out.
8 in, 8 out. 8 in, 8 out.
And 8 is the best number for this, or whatever.
Whatever's comfortable for you is the best number.
Because when I get agitated, that's going to be not. I could do it pretty good here, but if I'm freaked, I don't know. I'll try it.
Well, listen, if it's 16, I don't care.
Okay.
Okay, it's just the rhythm. You want to connect the rhythm.
Consistency of the connection of the breath with the heart.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how much.
Doesn't matter how much.
Okay.
So I would say that's where you want to go.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. And you're welcome to come here every morning. That's useful.
All right.
Would love to have you here.
Okay.
You know, you're an old friend.
Yeah.
Just
like most of us are.
Well, does that mean after June 2nd, when this course ends, he can come here?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I just won't be here.
You won't either. No one will be here.
June 4th.
You can come.
June 4th. Yeah.
How do you get in?
And it's $100 per.
After the course, it costs a lot of money to do.
So just feel that, be with your body, do some asanas, get the money out, and you'll be good. I'll be teaching it. This is a fake thing. See, I'm not really in trouble, and I'm going to be the teacher, but it's going to cost a lot.
You really have lived here for a while.
Yeah. Longer than most of you, I hate to tell you.
All right. So I am going to end the Q&A session.
Okay, good. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm going to end it here. Unmute everyone. Come on. Everybody unmuted? Oh, let's go back here and see what's going on there. All right. How do I unmute you guys? There we go.
There, you just did it. Thanks so much. Great session.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So nice to have you on the phone. And you guys on the phone, quit being so shy. Huh? We want to hear from you guys. You know,
Okay.
These guys up here, jump up here, grab the seats. There's a line of 3 people waiting on seats. Not quite. Not quite. Anyway, much love to everybody, and thank you all very much. It's a great honor.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right.
Thank you, Stephen.
You bet.
Okay, lots of love.
Bless you.